We picture the end of Rome as a disaster movie, hordes of armed warriors crashing through heavy wooden doors and burning the city. History provides specific dates for this trauma: the Visigoths sacking the capital in 410 and the Germanic Revolt of 476. These violent markers have shaped our understanding of imperial collapse for centuries. In the 1700s, historians like Edward Gibbon began looking past the battlefield. They examined the state's internal institutions to find the reason those gates fell. Modern research shows the Roman Empire succumbed to internal degradation. Its institutional immune system failed over hundreds of years, leaving the state defenseless long before the final invaders arrived. The autopsy report reveals causes of death with modern parallels: climate change, pandemics, wealth inequality, and entrenched political corruption. Rome serves as a forensic case study in state failure. It reveals how a hyper-advanced, globally integrated society fractures from within. This map tracks the foundation of Roman prosperity. Stable weather generated agricultural surpluses, driving a steady upward trend in population. But around the year 150, the climate zone cools, the agricultural foundation cracked, and the population graph plummets following widespread harvest failures. This malnourished population faced a second shock. Biological threats like the Antonine and Cyprian plagues swept through Roman cities, thriving in the weakened environment. The combination of failing crops and disease triggered a demographic freefall. The state lost the healthy citizens required to farm the land or provide the tax revenue needed to maintain infrastructure. Physical environmental collapse creates the conditions for political collapse. No superpower can outrun the basic limits of its biosphere. As the population shrank, the economy stalled. Rome relied on the labor of conquered peoples, but when territorial expansion stopped in the 2nd century, that labor supply vanished. To pay its massive military bills, the state squeezed the remaining citizens. Emperors levied oppressive taxes and debased the currency, triggering inflation that crushed the lower and middle classes. While the public struggled, the wealthiest senatorial families hoarded the empire's remaining resources. The wealth gap expanded until the middle class effectively disappeared. These elites used their political influence to secure legal tax immunities. Many abandoned the cities to live in independent countryside fiefdoms, withdrawing their support from the state that protected them. When a governing elite detaches from society and the middle class bears the cost of empire alone, the social contract breaks. That broken treasury had to finance a border stretching from the Atlantic to the Middle East. With fewer citizens willing to serve, defending frontiers like Hadrian's Wall became a logistical nightmare. To fill the ranks, the state outsourced its security. Emperors hired foreign mercenaries, known as the barbarians, to prop up the thinning Roman legions. This map shows the resulting vulnerability. Overlapping invasions pierced Roman territory as the defense network failed to respond to multiple points of pressure. Political chaos worsened the crisis. In a 75-year span, more than 20 different men seized the throne, often by murdering their predecessor. A superpower cannot maintain long-term security by relying on outsourced contractors with no loyalty to the state. These mercenaries eventually realized they held the power and turned against their Roman employers. The eastern half of the empire, ruled from Constantinople, endured for another 1,000 years after the fall of Italy. The east survived through superior geography and fortified systems.
Walls like these allowed the Byzantine state to absorb the same shocks that fractured the West. In the West, the central political structure fragmented into regional kingdoms. These successor states absorbed Roman culture and law, carrying them into the Middle Ages. By the time invaders sacked the city of Rome, they were entering a hollow shell. Centuries of institutional decay had already completed the ruin. Rome proves that the rot behind the gates is more lethal than any enemy standing outside them. The ultimate threat to a superpower is a house rotting from the inside.